We are pleased to be part of this great experience, and we are proud that our four home countries, the Philippines, India, Vietnam, and Colombia, are part of the team that is representing the Kootenay region. The Kootenay Day World Tour and Selkirk College, thank you all for making this opportunity possible. Special thanks to CP Railway and Rocky Mountaineer for being the inspiration for this project. Welcome on board and enjoy the ride with us.
We, the Kootenay Lake Red Tour, are a guided, diner, sightseeing train tour that goes between Cranbrook and Nelson for 3 round trips a week. Our primary focus is to offer our passengers a real travel experience apart from making them indulge in the cultural, historical and natural scenic beauty of the Kootenays. We also provide them accommodation apart from giving them tastefully made local food on board. We operate during the summer season and as well as the shoulder seasons of the spring and fall. As you all know, the summer season is when you find a lot of tourists coming into the Kootenay region. But then the shoulder seasons of the spring and fall is what generally gets avoided. But you don't get to see such, scenic beauties, especially in spring, where so many flora and fauna just come out of their hibernation in winter, and then autumn has such beautiful scenery of yellow, red and orange that makes the landscape so beautiful that nobody would want to miss. So we are planning to explore this aspect of the shoulder season, and we will be investing in promotion and marketing for these shoulder seasons. So since CP will be pulling our passenger cars for the first 2 years of our operation, they will be instructing us regarding the rules and regulations that we will be following. Also, we will be having our staff members working on board and in office spaces, and all of them will be trained in railroad safety and as well as in first aid. We will be having all the necessary safety kits on board in our train. Apart from that, we have 2 packages. One is a $349 package. One is a $349 package, which is a round trip, and the other is a $99 package, which is a one-way trip. These will include lunch, apart from choice of beer or wine, which is BC made. We also have 2 other packages, which are of discounted rates for kids. We have our daily schedules of, the train will be leaving from either Cranbrook or from Nelson at 8 a.m. in the morning, and it will arrive at the destination at 1:30 p.m. After which our guests will be taking a tour of the museum and indulge in what all it offers before checking into the prestige hotels at either of the places at 3 p.m.
We will partner with the strong and local organizations that help us in many ways. Canadian Pacific Railway will rent 2 of their 2 passenger cars that will be pulled by the locomotive. They will be providing train operators, fuel, parking, washing services, and engine maintenance. The West Coast Grill will be catering all the beverages and meals that will be provided during our tour. The Prestige Hotels and Resorts will provide us a stable room rates and 2 kiosks that will be placed in those hotels for marketing and sales purposes. Whitewater Ski Resorts will provide us with their staff on the shoulder seasons and in summertime when the ski resort is not operating. This will lower the cost of training and will keep the employees in the community. The Canadian Museum of Railway of Railtour in Cranbrook will provide our guests with a complimentary access to the museum and to all the train tours. Same goes to the Nelson Electric Tramway Society with an additionally tram ride along Nelson's waterfront. We will partner with the strong destination marketing organizations that will help us introduce our product in the right way, at the right time, and to the right market by participating in consumer shows and Hello Busy listings, by promoting our product in their social channels, and by publishing their content on their website. The First Nations and the Tunaha Nation will be one of the First Nations community that will provide us with 2 tour guides and with their artifacts that will be available for sale and will be decorating our passenger cars.
So Kootenay Lake Rail Travel will offer a journey through Kootenays from a different angle that can only be witnessed by rail travel. So if you see, we have this as a unique selling point. We are trying to revive rail travel in Kootenays. So for our target market, we are looking at rail fans. These are the people who absolutely adore traveling by train, and I am one of them. So we have this market. When during my research I went online and I saw there is a huge segment of these people. There are millions of web pages and websites online that help these people to connect. So I think that that's a great opportunity. Besides that, authentic experiences and cultural history buffs will also be one of the major tourist profiles that we'll be looking into. For the first year of our operations, we'll be conducting farm tours for the people from industry, locals, and leaders. So all the more reasons to vote for us. So for marketing strategy, we will be using internet channels like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, also those websites that I talked about for rail fans, for promoting our channels. Besides that, print media and newspaper. We have this sample of newspaper ad that we'll be using. This concept website we came up with that allows users to book their tickets online, and a trifold brochure that will be distributed in our DMOs for promotion.
And this is, after all, a business plan. I'm going to tell you why it's a good investment opportunity. We naturally sell more tickets in summer season than in show season, but we pay a third of our staff and our partners all year long. So we have a big economic impact in the area. And the first year, we expect to sell $1.25 million in tickets, with the assumption being for every one way, we sell one return ticket. And another assumption is that we have a very modest expectation of only 30% occupancy rate average in the first year, which is going to rise slowly and steadily in the second and third year. And our cost of goods sold is rather low, 30%, because we have to pay a lot of fixed costs, mostly CP for rent. But in the third year, we expect to have enough cash to buy our own engine and hire a crew, and going to lower our costs. For example, this engine right here is being sold for $200,000 in Fruitvale right now. We pay a fair salary to everyone, with incentives to the sales and marketing team for boosting sales. And for marketing, we have a budget of $10,000 plus 4% of expected sales for the year. And that's basically the industry standard. Also, we assume a worst case scenario interest rate of 10%. Anything lower than that is going to help us. And as instructed, a requirement by CP Rail, we also have $125 million of coverage and liability for 1 year. That is going to leave us with about $22,000 of retained earning in the first year, which is about 11% ROI, pretty good for a 30% occupancy rate. And you can see we have a lot of cash in hand, up to $500,000 in third year, because we are a small business, startup with a lot of fixed costs. But the business calls for about $450,000 in investment, $200,000 of which is going to be our own money. And since we are a local business with a local impact, we expect to be funded by the Columbian Basin Trust for the same purpose. And if not, we are confident that our plan is going to be funded by Canadian banks. So we have talked to our potential customers, and this is what they think about us.
When we first came here 40 years ago, we were riding on a train. We didn't plan to settle down here in the first place, but the view from the train was breathtaking. We stayed a bit more, and here we still are. When we heard about the idea of a guided dining train tour running in the area, we thought it would be something we'd love to see happen.
I love trains, but there's only one trip a year, which is not enough to fully utilize the region's potentials. We'd love to go on such a ride. It's a getaway, I'd say. It's more than a trip. It's part of the history and culture of this land that we love. We can't wait for this project to become real so we can be your first customers.
Thank you, and we'd like to thank our friends and partners for providing us with materials, inspiration to do this project.
This is the end of our journey, the Kootenay Light Rail Tour. Thank you all for riding with us. Until the next time.
Perfect. So which one of the railroad guys is going to go first in terms of the questions?
Yeah, that'll be me, the junior. James was my boss at Rocky Mountaineer. Anyway, when we met with the students earlier, we did mention that, we did work with Rocky Mountaineer, so no pressure. I think you guys did a great job. In your presentation, in your package, there's a comment on page 13 that says that CP Rail stopped doing this, what you're talking about, due to low profit and lack of customers. How are you going to overcome that?
Thank you for the question. May you allow us a few seconds to come up with the best answer? So a few years ago, we learned that CP actually have same product about more than 10 years ago, not quite so long. But the demographic of the area have changed drastically. More young people have come, and most importantly, more people are exposed to our multiple channels of marketing. It's not like 10 or 15 years ago when the only marketing channels you have is the newspaper. It's not very effective. Now you see we have a video for ad, and as long as eye-catching and people assume that they have the value to use it, and people now have more disposable income, more exposure, we believe that we're gonna be able to raise certain level of customers to be success. And we also assume a very low occupancy rate first year, and it already gave us certain level of success.
Congratulations. We at Rocky Mountaineer actually went up to Selkirk in the year 2000 and investigated this ourselves. Don't be put off by the fact that we didn't go for it, but that's okay. And I thought your presentation was very much on track. And one thing I'd really commend you on is the fact that you weren't reading your lines. You had rehearsed your lines and you had them felt. So I think that's really good. The ending with an interview, very clever. One thing I might ask, probably with a little sneaky bit of Rocky Mountaineer experience, but you've got here in your presentation that per passenger car you'd have 2 tour guides, one per car and 2 servers. Did you ever think about the idea of being able to cut some of your costs by actually having the servers also be the tour guides, or was there some complete separation in what they are intended to do?
Okay, so as I was, when I was calculating the cost factor, we actually thought about cutting costs that way. The thing is, we cannot accept to compromise value and quality because we are charging quite a hefty amount for tickets. So the tour guide has to be dedicated. What if what if we're more successful than we expected and we have a 70% occupancy? The tour guide cannot serve and guide effectively at the same time. We're talking, 30, 35, 40 people per car. And what if they have that many people? They cannot do their job efficiently. So we have to dedicate 2 servers for every car. In the worst case scenario, that we have a lot of people, everyone's going to be served at the same time, food's going to be still hot. And since we target people who are generally older age, they might need to have more special needs in their dining experience. And the 2 tour guides we have is going to come from First Nation bands, and it's going to be more effective and efficient to have a dedicated tour guide than to train them to become an efficient and effective server at the same time.
Well considered answer. Thank you.
Great use of video. I have to say, you really created a wonderful vision of what the experience would be like, and featured and showcased all the elements of that journey, I think, in a very effective way. So congratulations. My question really relates to the sales channel. Did you think about how much of your revenue stream might come through advance bookings through the travel trade, for instance? I can see that tour operators from around the world would think this is an amazing product, versus spontaneous purchase that might be the ones that you receive through the kiosks on site at the hotel. And what about the online ticketing channel? Just generally, sales channel, what was your thinking there?
Please give a few seconds. Concerning the question, since we, I'm going to say this again, our target market is not young, right? And they have disposable income, and we have to prepare for that because many of them still, they're living in this age, in the day and age, and they're still not used to using 100% internet purchase. So we expect to have the majority of them coming to us steadily and slowly. They don't spontaneous purchase. They look at it, they do their own research, and then they buy through traditional channels. That's why we have the kiosk, and we also have, in the future, we plan to have more sale channels, for example, physical channels, like visitor centers. The thing is, we still expect the majority of them to buy from traditional physical channels. But as we have the help of DMOs, which is mostly online, we will monitor the activity of the website and see how it goes. And if that is proving to be selling well, say 40% of our sales coming from it, we're going to push it and start to target younger people as well.
Thank you very much. Great presentation.